Does it make your nose itch when you do dishes? Hi, I'm Carrie. Welcome to Cooking for Onesie. We're gonna make one of my favorite pasta dishes. I'm not sure where I even got this idea. Vegan Alfredo made with raw nuts and seeds and such. All right, I'm gonna salt some water, get some water boiling. I like these thin spaghetti noodles. They're non-GMO. I'm gonna break them in half. So if you don't wanna break your noodles in half, use a larger pot and more water. So here's what you're gonna need. One of the things is this like sort of Herbamare seasoning. I just make my own. I don't put salt in mine. I add my salt later to whatever I'm making. And I don't put kelp either, but celery seed, basil, sage, thyme, rosemary, oregano, garlic, onion, parsley, and I just blend all those up or crush them in a mortar and pestle. My own Herbamare, so it's all ready to go. I'm not even sure if that's how you say it. It's a delicious blend of herbs and spices. Alternatively, you can just do like a little oregano, some thyme, marjoram, highly recommended, basil. I like to put a little bit of chives. Sometimes I'll put a little extra like diced onion or onion powder. We can either use a minced garlic or a fresh garlic clove. And then just some, I like mixed peppercorns, but just whatever, black pepper or mixed peppercorns, and some sea salt, some nutritional yeast flakes. I like this kind, but you can use whatever kind you want. I'm gonna use a little bit of almond milk, not a whole can, some diced tomatoes, unsalted. You can get them at any grocery store. These are pepitas, pumpkin seeds. They're raw, unsalted. That way you have all of the nutritional benefits of the seeds and the nuts. And these are raw hemp seeds, full of protein, fiber, and an ideal optimal balance of all of your omegas. The perfect superfood for humans. This is a coffee grinder that is delegated just for herbs, nuts, and stuff. If you don't have this, you could try using a food processor or crushing it by hand with a mortar and pestle, but I recommend just delegating a coffee grinder if you want to make stuff like this. So we're basically going to make vegan Parmesan, but we're also going to use pepitas because they give it a new creamy flavor. We're going to add the herbs to that and the garlic, and yeah, here we go. All right, my water's at a nice rolling boil. I'm going to do probably like an inch diameter of these thin spaghetti noodles. Break them in half. These are a 6-minute pasta. Okay, while our pasta is boiling, lop off the bottom of this garlic and give it a peel and drop it in my coffee grinder. And then I'm gonna do about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 8 Brazil nuts and about a tablespoon of pepitas. If you want, at this point, you can put a little extra diced onion, and depending on whether you want your chives whole or ground up, we can do that later. Oh, I have some parsley that I washed and chopped and froze in the freezer, so I'm gonna pull that out and chop some parsley too. I'm gonna put about a half a teaspoon of salt, and then rather than using my pepper grinder, I'm just gonna put about a half a teaspoon of peppercorns into my coffee grinder. And then we're gonna grind this. At some point, you'll have to reach in there and kind of scrape around and just get everything off of the bottom so that it doesn't just turn into a mash. And you might need to like reserve a couple chunks of Brazil nuts and put them in one more time to finish them at the end. As soft as I want it. See, we still have a couple little pieces of Brazil nuts, so I'm gonna get this out of there and then we'll just finish off those Brazil nuts. If you have a like a spatula like this, you can do that. I love this spatula. So you can see we have a pretty fluffy vegan Parmesan mixture. And to that, I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons to a 1/4 cup of hemp seeds. And a sprinkle of chives, maybe 1/2 teaspoon. And some of our herbamare mixture, so probably 1/2 teaspoon. And then we'll jump over and drain the noodles. And the noodles can be a little al dente because we're gonna cook them a little bit more with all of our sauce. So I found a great way to deal with my herbs when I bring home like a bunch of parsley or cilantro. I will wash them, rinse them, dry them in a salad spinner, and then I'll keep them in a bundle the whole time and then strip off the leaves from the bundle. It's so much easier. Then you can just freeze it. It still tastes really fresh when you cook with it, and it's so much easier to chop, and it lasts forever instead of going bad in a couple of days. So we'll do some fresh parsley to just, well, it's frozen, zest up the finished product. I'm gonna put about a tablespoon of olive oil. Burner's still hot, but it's turned off. So we've got our vegan Parmesan with the little chives added in. We've got our newt ready to go. We've got a little bit of unsweetened almond milk or whatever kind of unsweetened non-dairy milk, or dairy milk if you want, but I don't like it. And then our diced tomatoes and our parsley all ready to go. I'm gonna stick to the bottom of the pan, and that's totally fine. We're not gonna brown it, or we're definitely not gonna burn it. I'm just talking about like a minute at the most, just to kind of, I don't know, give the pasta some kind of new tooth. We're gonna take a little bit of almond milk, just enough to like coat the bottom of your pan, and that's gonna bring the pasta right up off of the pan with the liquid. So just kind of gently stir that around, let it do its thing. It will. Like, you don't need to scrape and fret or anything else. Everything is gonna be okay. It'll all come off. And then you can skip the tomatoes if you want. If you want tomatoes, a little extra veggies and tang, then throw them in there. You can use fresh tomatoes if you want. These canned tomatoes are fast and easy to, you know, keep on hand, but look out for the stems in there. Use as much or as little tomato as you want. These are unsalted, so I'm actually gonna salt just for the addition of the tomatoes right now. And we could put some red pepper flakes or some cayenne pepper or whatever if you wanna like spice it up a little bit. Okay, so given the right amount of time, which is just, I don't know, it's been like 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. Everything is off the bottom of the pan. We've got a nice mix of gently salted diced tomatoes. Burner is definitely cooled way down, which is good. That's what we want, because we don't want to cook our nuts and seeds. We want them to be raw, which has the most nutrition and enzymes and stuff. And now I'm gonna sprinkle on probably about 2 tablespoons of my nutritional yeast, and mix that in. And then we're gonna take our vegan Parmesan mixture that we made earlier and just load it up. And at this point, what we're gonna look at is how thick or thin we want our finished sauce to be, because the Parmesan is gonna be like super thickener. And if you want it thinner, you can either add more tomato juice, or you can add more almond milk, or if it looks just right, then we're ready to eat. Okay, and I found some fresh basil too that I just chopped up. I mean frozen, but fresh. So we're gonna sprinkle our basil and parsley on to finish off our dish, and it's ready to go. It's been a half an hour because I was filming, but usually, like I said, I can finish this in 15-20 minutes. So, and it's so fun because you can add whatever you want. to this. You know, this is a good start, and then if you wanted to add zucchini or carrots or whatever. Super comfort food, so. Bon appetit. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks, Dana, for asking me to make this video, give you the recipe. I usually make music videos, not cooking videos, but this has been fun.